welcome to Binge Buddies. What good land, why we do shadows. Just with me, as always, is Matt, Nenatu Zombie Dog, Dykes.
Nenatu.
It's from a British TV show, so I was hoping you would get it, because, you know, you're British, therefore you've seen everything British, right? That's how it works to Americans' heads.
Yeah, of course. It does ring a bell. It's not a Doctor Who villain, is it?
No, but it is kind of close to Doctor Who. It does, you know, exist in a journey through time and space. That was a really big hint. It's from the Mighty Boosh.
Well, that's not what my second guess was going to be.
Well, I mean, Mighty Boosh, if we could do a whole, you know, Binge Buddy seasons on Mighty Boosh, I'd be very happy. I fucking love the Mighty Boosh. But anyhow, we also have Joel Creeper DeWitte.
I know Creeper as well. Oh, no, wait, that's just what the women call me down the... Which is ironic, really, because it's a gym in my house. So what are they doing in my house?
So they say in front of you, huh? They wait till they're behind my back.
I like that people are breaking into Matt's house to call him a creeper.
Yeah. I use my gym. I'm like, fuck off. Get out of my house.
I feel this is very Minecraft.
No, Jeepers Creepers.
Oh. I'm going with Minecraft.
I mean, that's a much better answer than Jeepers Creepers. But, you know, that's where I got it. From the wonderful Den of Geek. I'm going to keep taking digs at Den of Geek. Stupid list. So we're back. And I guess I should apologize up front for missing so many damn weeks. Turns out recording at the end of the year can get a little hectic. I had some personal stuff I had to deal with. Then Drew had some personal stuff he had to deal with. That sounded really glim. Like, mine was serious. His was a whole bunch of fun. Like, congratulations, Drew. I'm sure he had a blast and is still doing so. And then, just scheduling in general has been kind of a pain. So we're doing a double recording session today. So we'll have an episode this week and next week. And then I think we're going to take a little bit of a break till sometime in the new year. And then we'll get right back to it. But I don't have an exact date yet. I apologize.
But hopefully I won't be dying on the next recording session.
Yeah, hopefully you won't be dying or dead. Like, you have to survive.
That's true.
Is the hope. But yeah, so I apologize.
I mean, I'm a bit 50-50
I know we didn't. Sure. But I do feel bad missing weeks, especially unannounced, and that one just kind of, it came out of nowhere and it was kind of unavoidable. So there we are. But we're not missing this week, and this week we have to talk about the highest rated episode on IMDb of the first two seasons. People love this episode. Talking Colin's promotion.
That surprises me a little bit.
No, it makes sense.
No, no, it's a really good episode, but of the two that we're recording, this is the one that I kept forgetting what happened in it.
Colin's a man of the people. I don't know what to tell you.
I think... Now, this whole season, I've been teasing that next week's episode is, like, my favorite episode ever of any TV show. When I rewatched both of these episodes yesterday, I think I came away liking this one a little bit more. Which feels very strange, because next week's episode is damn near perfect. I think there's just something a little bit showier about next week. Like, they have like a hook that makes it, like, that much bigger and grander. Whereas this one's amazing just being what we do in the shadows.
I'd agree with that. Like, the next episode is very laser focused on a few people, where this still has that ensemble cast feel, and the story still involves everybody. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why it is as rated as highly as it is, because it is amazing. And I honestly think next week's episode might be better, but I like this one more.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the sort of, like, the ensemble part of it, because I always think when you get to the point where he goes back home, I always start to think, oh, so the rest of the cauldron. Yeah, I remembered.
I was totally forgetting the name. Thank you.
Note to self, don't laugh. Yeah, I always think that they're sort of like pushed off a little bit to the side because it seems to focus on Colin for like the first 5 minutes quite a bit, and they are just kind of in the background. But then as the episode comes along, they do become more involved in it as he's just feeding on them just by being there.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's the fact that Colin a lot of times plays backseat. Like he's the character that comes in, throws really big bombs of laughter, and then sort of creeps back out. And the fact that this is one more singularly focused on him and his story, if you do it rarely, it can be really good, right? If they beat the Colin Robinson front man in every episode, it would grow tired real quick. But I think he was used just sparingly enough up to this point where one big episode that was mostly focused on him is a really knockout experience.
Well, and it's also the fact that they use the fact that they haven't focused on him in so long as a plot point. Like, they use the whole, like, the fact that nobody really cares as the reason to propel this episode forward. So by just using how they've designed the character to make this one work is just kind of genius.
Oh yeah, I do like that, and I do like how he is kind of going, I don't know whether I want this because I want to hang out with all my friends, and he goes back to them and they're like, piss off, just get out, stop trying to drain us and all this stuff. And he's like, and then you get that really sort of like nice sweet emotional thing where he goes, even when you're not trying to drain them, people think you're trying to drain them. And then there's that beat and he goes, it is draining a little bit though.
Yeah, so let's just kind of dive into this thing a little chronologically, because I think that's kind of worked out best for us in the past. So this episode begins with Colin getting what appears to be, well, not the very beginning. I'm just kind of sticking with Colin because I think he is the through line of the thing, although there are some very funny jokes of them cleaning out their artwork. But there is something about this, the way they open him getting his promotion, because they make it look like he just got the worst news. Like he's in the office getting told he's getting promoted, and he's like stamping his foot and like no, and he's all pissed off, and he's like, well, I got a promotion.
My favorite thing of that as well is he's like, I'll be cool as a cucumber. Cut to, no. It's like literally the opposite.
And that's when he has to come home and tell his, his roomies, because that's his number one concern is, his roomie time.
Yeah.
When he comes home to find all of his roommates going through all their artwork, and goddamn, is that some funny shit. Because you have Nadja with her vulva on display, and she's very proud of it, unless Nandor's looking at it. And every time that like Nandor looks away, she shows the camera all happily.
Just that look on her face, like. She's so good at the expressiveness, like just that sort of the expression of pride, I guess. Like, but yeah. Just in general, just like the like how expressive she is in her face. I forget the actress's name now. God. But yeah, she's just so the expressiveness.
Do you know what it is about her? It is that. You know how sometimes when people talk to you, they use that kind of soft voice that's meant to sound friendly, but is actually kind of condescending?
Yes.
Yeah. That is Nadja half the time when she's interacting with somebody she doesn't like. It's that sort of like, that kind of like bless your heart kind of idea.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I also like the...
That was my attempt at doing that, by the way. I don't know if you actually call that.
We sure did. I also love in that sequence, I think it's the same sequence, where Guillermo has to move the painting of her naked, and he puts his hand right on her butt.
Get your hand off my wife's ample but firm backside. Thank you, darling.
Just the butt firm.
Yeah.
That just crushes that.
I also like the use of backside as well. It's a very British thing, is that? I don't know if I don't really hear it in a lot of American stuff. I don't know if you guys actually use it that much, but it's a very, 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 very British.
I think
term
we
for
only
your
know.
ass.
I think we only know butt and ass.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of our vocabulary.
Yeah, we have bottom, we have backside, we have bum, we have.
Yeah, we're aware of those words. We just don't use them.
Yeah.
I mean,
a bum is very different between England and America as well. Like, a bum is something nice in England. In America, it's, someone on a street, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything here is thick with 2 C's.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Yep. We're gonna move ever so quickly beyond that. So while going through all this artwork, and with Colin getting a little, oh no. So after that whole scene goes over, Colin then has to go to work and actually become a boss. So he has to hold a meeting. And wow, people have to listen to him, and he just gets power drunk immediately, just right out of the gate. He has to host one thing, and he just tries to do like his normal energy vampire thing, crack a joke. Like the projector that he's using turns off. He's like, oh, I guess the projector decided to take a coffee break, and everyone laughs, and he's like,
literally drunk on his own power.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, just immediately goes through the whole thing. Like as he's leaving, he's like, "Did you see that? They had to listen to me. I can't believe it." And he goes to the bathroom. He's feeling so good. He smashes a pure steel trash can. Like
I just love the way it just crumples down, and then the guy walks in, and then it's as the lid falls off, and he says, "Don't," and he's talking about not sitting on it. You just hear the lid go, "Ding, ding, 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 ding."
There's something funny about, like, he could have chosen a different path through finding this out, right? Because he's talked about how there's different ways to, like, energy vampire people. And you almost wonder, like, could he have been an energy vampire of laughter and then just try to be, like, a good boss while also, like, feeding off of people quietly? No, power hungry. No. He has to go straight to destruction.
Yeah, greedy as hell. But I love that trash can. Before we leave the trash can thing, I love the fact when he's walking, I was like, don't sit on that. Bill and Jim were earlier. It didn't hold them. How is that an acceptable lie? Oh, yeah, I went to the bathroom and 2 men were sitting on the trash can.
Well, I guess it's not any worse than saying that 2 people taking human shit together. I mean...
Yeah. A nice human shit.
Yeah, nice human shit.
Yeah, it is great just how... Because it's like he's crushing a soda can. Like, so quickly, so abruptly.
I'm just curious as what that was made out of. Like, I mean, actually on the set, because it crumples like metal, but, you know, obviously it's not actually metal because you wouldn't be able to just do that.
I mean, I don't know how they did it, but there's a very real chance it's like a compositive shot of like 3 different things. Of like, here's a steel garbage can, here's a crushed steel garbage can, and here's a plastic one in between that I smashed. Like, there's multiple ways they could have done it.
I just think it just looks so good, though. It's one of those things where you look and you go, how the fuck did they do that? Like, how? How did they actually put that together? Because it looks like he genuinely just does crush a steel bin.
Yeah, it works perfectly. It makes the gag that much funnier.
Yeah.
But now when they come back, or when Colin goes back to tell his, you know, not really to tell everybody that he got his promotion or anything's going on, but really just to deal with his roommates. And now he's starting to feed off them with his bigger power. And that's where we find out something really amazing. It might be like the best reveal ever. And that's when they're going through all their old artwork and they find the destruction of Nadia's village. And while looking at the destruction of Nadia's village, they recognize somebody in the photo. Shit gets a little real as they find out that that Nandor might have been the one to destroy Nadia's village thousands of years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
There isn't a thing about this that isn't hilarious. From Nadia's reply to Matt Berry attempting to defend Nandor, like, now hold on, darling. It was a long time ago. We don't have any proof. What about him right there? Oh, no, that's him.
Just another perfect example of this show using imagery and old paintings and such to sort of flesh out the story and then have little details that are just perfect. It's kind of like the point where Laszlo points out that he was the first one to do like a selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photo bomb.
Yeah.
Portrait bomb. Portrait bomb.
Portrait bomb.
Yeah.
I sat there for 4 hours with my 2 fingers up like this, and I do it again because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, give me any time Nadja to be pissed off and try to kill somebody. Like,
oh yeah,
that is as good as Bat. It's as good as fucking Guy. Anything like.
I mean, that's kind of her signature thing. So like, with like you said, with Laszlo, it's Bat. Nandor, it's fucking Guy. Nadja, it's when she's angry. That's kind of her signature thing because she comes alive so much as well.
Yes. And the nice thing about this show is that a lot of shows would use that as like, oh, the angry, emotional woman kind of situation. This is very clearly like, no, she is justified in her anger, and it is a righteous fury she has every time.
I mean, I love when Laszlo's got hold of her and she's trying to fly towards Nandor, and she's just like, "You're supposed to support me when I want to kill someone," and then you just hear Laszlo just go, "Not in this instance, my darling."
Their relationship is always great because like they always even themselves out somehow, right?
But she is definitely the alpha.
Yes.
Every
Undoubtedly.
time she's always out alpha. Like even when Laszlo's being the alpha, she will always out alpha him. You know.
Oh yeah.
Almost instantly. Like with Yif. You know, like when he comes out and he's kind of like being the alpha, he's like, "Oh yes, it's been me that's been killing you all these years." It's like, you know, yeah, that's kind of like an alpha thing, but Nadia's still the alpha of the relationship 99% of the time.
But even that one, she's still saying, "Call me when you're back around." Like, so, like, she's like, "Oh yeah, look at him." Yeah, I'm still not gonna listen to him. And even in the next episode with him, when he's a ghost, then the doll version of him's like, "Call me." Like, no one listens to Laszlo. Like, she and her ghost version are still definitely the alpha, even when he thinks he is.
Yeah.
It's
That's a fair
well
point.
written.
And actually, I forgot. She even talks Laszlo into letting him have a full life. I mean, granted, it doesn't work out very well, but, you know. So, yeah, she out-alphas him there because she's like, you know, I'll let him have one full life. And it's like, very well, my darling.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Well, the ghost disagrees with that, but I see what you mean. All right, so now let's jump back to Colin. So Colin is he goes back to the office, and now things are starting to change. He's gotten so power drunk he started growing hair. He can drain people with a word, like, or just a phrase sometimes, or just like a finger gun gesture. He can just drain them entirely.
Or send them flying across the office.
Oh yeah, but,
yes.
like, I love some of his like working hard, hardly working. Boo.
TGIF,
Mondays,
right?
huh?
So at my work, you ask how somebody's doing, 9 times out of 10 says living the dream. Like it is that kind of office isms. Anybody who works in an office understands how draining that can be under the best of circumstances when an energy vampire isn't sucking the life out of you.
Oh yeah. I have a corporate Christmas event coming up this week, and I'm pretty sure energy vampires set it up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just unavoidable. And he nails it so well. Like, just the utter power drunk, just having a great time, draining everyone around him, turning around, draining the camera crew following him. Like,
Yeah, just with a nod as well.
Yeah.
Just goes,
Yep.
so I love, like, after he's like really started like really showing his strength, the gang, the Cauldron, there it is. The Cauldron realizes that they have to do something about it, and they need to try to get him to stop, and like just trying to talk to him. And now Colin's got this huge like brain size thing. Like,
the fucking head. Oh my god. Alright, I don't know if either of you have ever seen it, but it reminds me of very, very, very first episode. I mean the first pilot of Star Trek, the original series, when it wasn't even William Shatner as the captain. It was a different guy. And it was the aliens in that, and they're telepathic now, and they've got these big heads, and it looked so much like that.
Star Wars is a blind spot to me. There's Star Wars, Star Trek.
No? Nobody?
No, sorry.
sorry, no. I know what tribbles are. Does that count?
Okay, you can cut that out as well then.
I love just the shot of him shaving the head.
Yeah, because he's literally just grown the hair back.
Yeah.
And now he's shaving it off again. Like,
And just
is
like
it
the
a
way
choice?
like Nadia's
bald?
trying to get him like bore himself by coming up with these lists, and she's like, "Can you tell me all of your friends' names?" And he starts going through it, and she's like, "Oh, I can't do this," and she tries to get away. Just that panic look on her face. I'm like, I can't. And as she starts drifting away, hold on, come back, I'm not done.
That look on her face is like, oh my god, how did he know? My favorite one of those is Balsamic Ben. I call it not because he likes balsamic vinegar, but because he likes the actor Martin Balsam. Number one, Martin Balsam. That's a fucking pull. Like, I was like, I know that name, and I had to Google it because it's like that's why I know that name. He's like an old guy in a lot of 80s films. But my God, like Balsamic Ben as a nickname for someone like him, yeah.
And how does that ever even come up?
I don't
I guess
know.
if you're an Ninja Vampire, you just grab whatever you can. But my God. So after that, we find that he's basically just been able to completely destroy the entire cauldron. And they're all just kind of lying on couches, unable to move. Guillermo's there too, also unable to move. And they're just trying to figure out like how to deal with this. And Laszlo is in death mode, where he's just like sitting in a chair with his arms crossed, just trying to preserve energy.
It looks like a praying mantis.
He does. He totally does. And then you have Nadia with the, all right, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. We need to eat Guillermo. Just Nando's like, you're right, Guillermo, come over here and put your neck in my mouth.
Yeah.
And Guillermo's like, no, I can't.
I'm sorry, Master, you'll have to come over here.
And he's like,
And then
camera 2, come over here and put your neck in my mouth. And then he
It
just
just-
opens his mouth and just like...
That might be the best part of the episode. Because
Camera
it's
2.
it's just one of Nandor's few lines that really hit, but also it's just like it's so pathetic.
Yeah.
from this powerful vampire, just like, you come over here and do the work for me.
It's just that sad little like mouth open at the end of it. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
If it had a sound, it'd be...
oh, that was just so good.
The part here where because Colin comes back up basically to like torture them, right?
Of course.
And then I forget, is this the part where he multiplies into 3
Yeah.
Collins?
Yeah.
And Guillermo, Nandor says like, Guillermo, save yourself. And he starts walking away, and then Colin multiplies, and Guillermo's so like pathetic he can barely talk. No.
And then he tries to slowly go around the other way, and then the other one comes out the other side. He's like, oh.
So good. And I love the way Colin like multiplies himself. Hello.
Yes.
And then, of course, because they are the most annoying, draining thing ever, as soon as they start trying to drain the room, they end up just draining the shit out of each other because one of the versions of Colin decides to give himself the nickname Seaman.
Seaman.
The expression on his face when he says, stop saying seaman, it just, like, that expression is so good because it is just, it's a mixture of disgust and frustration, and I absolutely love it.
But it's also
good.
so quick. It's
Yeah.
such a quick look and a quick response because he's just trying to shove him off so he can keep arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also love, like, maybe we should have a quick sidebar to discuss, our naming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Seaman thinks so, too. Don't say that. It's just... So, of course, they drain each other to death. They have to go out and bury the now 3 Collins. And as they're giving the precious eulogy of, like, oh, it turns out they actually did kind of enjoy Colin Robinson, Laszlo has by far the best eulogy out of anyone. I don't want to ruin someone's favorite moment if that's what it is. Is that anybody's favorite moment?
Go for
I
it.
haven't got it, no.
Okay, good. So he does this whole thing where Nadia does her thing, and then Laszlo does this. When you talk to me about ancient, I think it was like Civil War, like history or something like that, it's like, or as like ship history, I don't remember what it was. But either way, when you're talking about that, like, I was genuinely interested, and I didn't tell you because you would have stopped. But it was very okay. And it's like that little moment there. I'm not trying to spoil things, but that little moment there plants a seed for so much of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, without spoiling too much, but Colin and Laszlo become better friends in the next season. That doesn't really spoil anything, but that moment right there, I think, is like the beginning of that. And I think like that sort of stuff I just love in this show. But as they're like getting ready to bury him, we're gonna make Guillermo bury him because that's what they do. Colin jumps up, see like, see, I knew you guys liked me. I just had to trick you to prove it. And they're like, oh wow, what a dick. And they're just kind of chatting like, what about those guys? Oh yeah, come on guys. Oh no, they're actually dead.
One little detail I loved about the whole funeral scene is that they bury him with his painting.
Yeah.
Because one of the things at the start is how he like painted a group picture of him and his friends when they were talking about hanging stuff up, and they sort of just like shove him aside, obviously. And then I think Nadja says something like, and we're going to bury you with your painting because we know you love it so much.
And we hate it.
And so it was a perfect excuse to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Bury you with something you love,
that.
get rid of something we don't.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
So is there anything else to this one? Did I miss a punched ending? I feel like I forgot something.
I mean,
pretty much
just
it.
there's a few things of the
his
in the
new
actual
job.
office itself. Yeah, so
Well, I think we went through enough of the actual episode, but we should finish up his new office of what happens at the wrap up.
yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
So after he is done with the burial, we find out that the company he used to work for is now in financial ruin because he drained people so much that nobody got anything done. He just tanked the entire company. And
I just love the
the
shots around the empty office with all the people like on the floor as well.
It looks like the opening of the stand. It looks like everyone's just dead. So then we find out the most amazing thing possibly in the episode of just nothing but amazing things, which is how Colin gets his jobs. He just picks out a random normal office building, finds an empty cubicle, and sets up shop.
Just announces himself as the new guy.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I wonder how that would work. Part of me thinks it would work for at least a little while if you're not asking for money right away.
Right,
If
exactly.
I had Elon Musk's money, I'd go do that and just see how long I could get away with it for.
Would you though?
Why not, right?
Well, I wouldn't need to worry about paying bills and stuff, so then I'd just, go see how long I could get away with just showing up at an office and just saying I work there.
I feel like saying if I had money, I would see how long it would take for me to get away with it. Doesn't have the best connotations.
I mean, at some point, somebody's like, you don't work here, right? You got to go. I guess it's a fair point. I don't work here. I was just bored.
I'll just buy you.
Oh, man. That'd be good. All right, let's move into favorite moments. Joel, do you want to go first this week?
Yeah, sure. We sort of covered all the big moments, but there's a little moment at the start where Colin, in his ever-ending quest to annoy people, is at the office, and he's constantly doing this kind of sound that people make when they're coughing or trying to hold a cough. And one of the workers there is just like, do you want a lozenge or a cough drop? He's like, no, I'm fine. Then he goes straight against it as he's bending over this file cabinet. He's not looking at anything at all. He's just using an excuse to be in proximity of this person so he can go.
I love as well how they tie that off at the end, and that's the last thing that he does at the end of the episode as well. He goes,
Yep.
in the office.
And you get that little blue eye flash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt, what about you?
So I've got two. So I'll go with the first one, and then if no one else takes the other one, I'll swing back around and do that, like I always do. So mine is the when they're basically talking about the painting, and Nando's like, "We don't know this is your exact village," and Nadja's like, "That is my village flag on fire in the painting." And like, well, the pillaging could have been done by anyone. We cannot go and jumping to conclusions that I am to blame. He's right, my darling. We have no evidence it was him. Then what the fuck is Persian Frank Zappa doing on a horse? Yeah, that's him. It's the description of Persian Frank Zappa. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Oh, it's just so good. Mine's a really small moment, and I don't know why I love this so much. Because it just makes me laugh every time. And it's after Colin's realized the power he has over the boardroom, as they're laughing at his jokes, and he realizes he just has so much power, and he starts making them laugh and stop laughing just with the movement of his hands, and he's just looking at the camera just like, and just like that pure joy on his face. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but just him being happy just cracked me up.
One more spot I need to mention real quick. When he's in that boardroom and they're trying to connect to a teleconference.
Oh my god!
He just are you on? And then just like interrupting people talking. It's kind of like recording a podcast sometimes.
It kind of is. Just
or being on a Zoom call.
The icing on the cake of that scene was everything's done. Everything. How was everyone's weekend?
My other one though is just when when Nando and Nadja are just explaining what Colin is, and then Nando's like, "He's a wild card, that one," and Nadja's like, "What are you talking about? He's not a wild card. He's the card you got on top of the deck that has the instructions on it, so you throw it away."
I forgot about that line.
It's brilliant. Oh god.
All right, I'm gonna throw one more quote out there just because I loved it, and it's when Colin thinks he's getting fired, not getting the promotion. He's like, "I think what happened is they finally figured out I don't even know what the hell this company does."
I like how when he does find out as well, he's like, it's either plans for playgrounds or landmines. Two very different things.
Yeah, that's quite a big window. All right, I think we did it. Should we do a very quick round of plugs and say goodbye? Sounds good. For this show and every other show on the ATH Network, which are all kind of relaxing a little bit right now because at the end of the year we all got very busy. But be sure to check out athpod.com. You can check out all of our older episodes, which we have a whole bunch of. And then new episodes will be trickling out throughout the end of the year, and then we'll start into regular schedules again early next year. And that's it from me. Joel, what about you?
I'm part of a podcast called Super GG Radio, where we talked about mostly independent games unfinished, also talking about go through a backlog, and played a little dumb games from time to time. My wife and I are always doing a podcast called Afterthoughts. I say always as we've been on a few-month break, but we're going to start with a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that.
That's not Dune.
You're right, it's not. I need to be the filter. On my end, you know how that is though. Like you have things that you're fiercely. Yeah.
You should do. You should do. Yeah, I can't say it. Damn it.
That actually made it funnier.
You should do June.
No. You know what? No.
I mean, at this point, that's fair. I mean, just on principle, I understand. Is there anything else you needed to plug, Joel? I feel like we kind of ruined it with "You Should Do Dune."
Yeah, sorry about that, Joel.
No, I'm good. It's all over now.
All right, Matt. Anything to plug in this week? Don't get sick.
Well, don't get sick. Wear a fucking mask. All that shit. Don't tell me that it's against your rights to be made to wear a mask. Fuck off. If you want to come and shout at me for saying that as well, just follow me on Instagram, matt.zombie.dog.
Thank you. I'll touch base with you later.
Yeah, I'll be sure to start yelling at you about all the things I agree with you on.
Yeah, that's fine. I've been a bit more active on there now because I put up pictures every now and again. That's what it's for, right? Pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I think we did it. Time to say goodbye. Bye.
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 I'm watching you do more work.
What a terrible